Hello everybody and welcome back to the Ultimate Decades Challenge. I have a bit of a different episode for you today, and today we are going to be time skipping. We last left off right after Eldred sadly passed away and Alda found out that she was pregnant again. And that was on the 31st day of the challenge in 1307. Now we have skipped around a year. And let's take a look at what has happened to the Westcott family during this year. Now, the first and most exciting thing is obviously that Alda gave birth to Udel's third child and her and Udel's second child. Alda had a successful delivery and the baby survived as well, and they had a son that they ended up naming Bartholomew. And this time I added something a little bit different. I get my pickers from Historical Plumbobs, and they have a channel in there that's called Decades Info. And in this channel, there's a whole bunch of spinner picker wheel thingies, and one of them was an extras for the babies. And these are just little extras that the babies could be born with. So, you know, a baby could be born completely blind. It could have dimples or vitiligo. Little baby Bartholomew, he rolled for heterochromia. As you will see, as we go into Create a Sim, he looks quite a lot like his sadly deceased little brother. And you'll know I had some stuff to say about him last episode. It seems to be Alda's genetics. I don't know. She just seems to have Voldemort genetics for babies. But that being said, he did turn out quite cute, especially when he aged up to a toddler. But then again, I think when you add some skin details, any sim kind of looks way better. And I kept getting this really weird thing is whenever I changed the eyebrow color, it changed the eye color. I've never had that before. So if anyone else has had that, can you please let me know? Because it's so strange. I've never seen that. But it was at this point that I was realizing I do have heterochromia CC in my game, but it wasn't enabled for infants. So I was like, oh shit. I've got to go out of game to get him those heterochromia contacts now. So he doesn't have them when he's an infant, but he does when he's a toddler. So, but yeah, I just dressed him in the same thing for all of his outfits. He's a baby in the medieval era. I don't think he would have fancy clothes, to be honest. But yes, he turned out really, really cute, and I'm really happy with him. He doesn't stay like this for very long. There's only a few days. And when he aged up, Bartholomew rolled a 4, which meant that he survived. And you know what? I think he was a little cute, to be honest. Quite an adorable child, just naturally, before adding any skin details and all that to him. I do spend quite a while sort of fussing around with the eyes because I had 2 different choices for the heterochromia, and I was just trying to see which one would look good. I was kind of like, do I do one blue eye, one dark eye? But then I was thinking, like, the rest of his family don't have dark eyes whatsoever. So I was like, let's do like one light green eye and one blue eye, because the rest of his family have blue eyes. And maybe somewhere down the line in his ancestors, there was green eyes as well. But I do settle on these 2 eyes, and I do really like the look of them. And here's that really weird bug again, when changing the eyebrows changes the eye color. That's so strange. I've never encountered that before. I really liked this curly hair coming up, that one. But, you know, I settled on this one in the end just because I liked it a little bit better. He does look really cute in modern clothes though, doesn't he? But I did the same outfit for every day except for his night clothes, because really he's a medieval toddler. He wouldn't have had loads of clothes to wear. And then a quick randomization of his traits. He got Charmer and he got Fussy. And then because I was already in Create a Sim and Udal and his wife were approaching adulthood, actually, I was like, maybe they could do with a little bit of an upgrade. Maybe not an upgrade, maybe just to make them look a little bit older, change of styles or whatever. So I really focused on Udal's beard and his hair, and it took me ages to settle on a beard for him, actually. But I eventually did, and I think it's like the same mustache as he had before. It's just a little bit more grown in around his chin and stuff, so I think that was really good. It took me a while to find him a hair that I really liked for him, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to make it shorter or longer. Ultimately, I did decide on the same length. There's a lot of hairs by OK Rue, or Okari as I've always called her accidentally, sorry Rue, that I really liked on him, but I chose a different one in the end, and it's like kind of like a slightly longer, messier hair for him, which I like because it kind of told a story of his grief, because once he had finished grieving, he did get the sad grieving new pack thing that came with life and death. So maybe he's sort of not been taking the best care of himself, and I think his hair and beard kind of reflect that. And I just changed his everyday outfit as well. So moving on to Alda now. All I really changed for her was her hair, because she is a married woman now, and I did her hair when she was unmarried. And typically married women would have their hair covered. I didn't choose the Sabrina Carpenter hair, but I chose one like that. I think it's that one I chose. And I did finally update her sleepwear. This is actually a new dress that I've made. It should be out soon for free on my Patreon. And I think I just went with a really simple everyday dress for her because, yeah, just this one. She didn't need much, to be honest. So anyway, now I'm going to pass you back to past llazyneiph, and we're going to make some changes to the house, which I'm going to say I was very excited about, but I've already done it and I love it. I hope you love it too. Today, what I wanted to do, because some time has passed, and like I said last episode, Uda was putting some money aside. He was trying to save as much as he could in order to, well, my plan was to buy another plot of land and build a house on that and rent it. But I figured it would be much cheaper to simply build on the existing land that they already have. Plus, I think this kind of would make a little bit more sense. You know, back in the day, maybe they would have had a more sort of shared sort of living space if times needed, I suppose. I'm not sure, I'm talking out of my ass here, but I'm absolutely positive some of you in the comments, you're very knowledgeable in history and all of that, so you'll correct me or just tell me what was going on. But what I want to do in this little filler episode is build an extension on their house. You'll see down here we have almost 15,000 simoleons. So what my plan was is to keep this as the Westcott's main living area. And then we will either turn this barn area, because they don't really use this. They don't have any livestock anymore, any big livestock that is. And they only keep their fridge and their honey press out here. So we're either going to change this little area, let me put the walls up for you, into a new property for someone to live in. Or my other idea was, when I was originally building this place, I was looking at a bunch of reference images of houses during that time and the layout inside, 14th, 13th century and before. And generally what they would do is have this main living area with a fire in the middle, and they would have this sort of half outside area, and the animals would sort of wander in and live with them. But what I was originally going to do is have a ladder up here and have another space upstairs here, because in some of the reference pictures there were some beds and stuff in there, and I imagine that would be quite warm because hot air rises, so that's probably why they did that. That was my second idea. However, if I do that, I think I will probably have to close this off and put a ladder either outside or in here or something. What I'm going to do is have a bit of a play around with some layouts, and I will speed it up for you so you guys don't have to sit through it, and we'll see what I come up with. Hi, it's me again, llazyneiph from the future. I am back. Yes, so I decided to build on this area above the barn. I'm not very good at building. I will just say that outright. I'm really not very good. I'm sorry if you can hear any squeaks as well. It's my desk. Roofing, I'm even worse at than building. But the original roof, because this lot was built by someone else, I thought we would have another curved roof, because the original roof is curved, and that would it would make more sense, and it architecturally would just go better. So, and I was actually really happy with how this roof turned out. It's just turning off my reshade for you guys there, because it was just a bit easier to see. It's so dusty inside as well, so you can't see the floor, but I did end up going with like a really old hewn wood kind of look to it. I am setting up this unit in the little rental thing, so it's got the red outline on it, but that ends up annoying me so much that I turn it off in a minute and then I just do it at the end. I did say about a ladder as well before, but then I was like, I don't know, I kind of feel like this sort of above barn situation, it needs its own staircase on the outside of the house, and I was still gung-ho about the ladder situation here. So I was like desperately trying to like put a ladder in. Oh, and this new fence is from the new pack, Life and Death, and it's like this wooden fence with hay on top, and realistically they wouldn't have had hay on top of a second story fence, but whatever, I liked it. And this is where I was like, actually maybe the stairs do look better, but I was still like, but I want a ladder. So I'm just trying to make a ladder work here, and I thought the ivy on that would make it work, but I was just like, no, we have to go with stairs. Stairs look better, don't they? And I do end up encasing the stairs in the wall as well, and it just looks really good at the end. I really, really like it. And like I said, I'm not very good at building, so I was pretty pleased with how this turned out. Just had to move some stuff around, get that wall back in place, and like look at how good that wall texture looks as well with the stairs. Like, oh, it just looks so good. That's my favorite custom content wall texture. If I remember to, I will try and link it down below, but I think it's on TSR and it might be merged in a package for me, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to find it. But I'm just putting in some windows now. I wanted the same kind of open effect that the rest of the house had, and then like on the front here I wanted something, but a window underneath that circular window. I loved the circular window and I didn't want to get rid of it. It just didn't make sense. It didn't look good to have another window underneath it. So I was like, oh, I've got ivy and stuff, which I did used to have, like really nice custom content trailing ivy. And I was going to like cover the whole thing in it, but I couldn't find it. I must not have it anymore, but it was beautiful and I wish I could have put it on there. So I made do with what we have in game. And I didn't know those had a green leafy swatch to them, so I'm really glad that they did, because I really like how that specifically looks, the overhanging kind of leaves and all of that. I am sorry about the camera movements in this. It's just this lot that my camera doesn't like the second story on it very much. It frustrated me as I was building it, but yes, so I did put that foliage on the outside, and I did like that, but I wasn't stoked with it. That little wall piece, that rug, they did actually already own that. And a lot of the furniture in here, they did already own, like that bath and the chairs. And I think I only really bought the bed and a few other items. So it's really good. We didn't spend very much money at all. Like, we had the bin, we had the candles, we even had the bowl. And we just got a cheap fridge for them. And now this is where I was like, I don't know what to put in here stove wise. I guess they could have gone downstairs to use the stove, but I also didn't want the rental rating to go down. Like I said, I haven't played with rentals before, so, or I might say that in a minute. Sorry. Yeah, I just sort of wanted it to work properly. Yeah, and I was just decorating the place a little bit, just with things that they may have around the place that will get us more money for the rental. Some little dried herbs and all of that. It's quite a sweet little abode at the end. I'm not sure if I end up keeping that wisteria that I've just put down. I hope I didn't, because I actually don't like that. And yeah, I was just putting, like, I know this was like a new build, but I still wanted it to feel like medieval and sort of a bit run down. But yeah, a nice little tartan rug. But I think that was it. It's super like basic, but I was really happy with how it turned out. Oh, I was putting some activities in. I put some knitting in, and oh my god, that cost like 400, 500 simoleons, and I was like, oh my god, but it looks really good. Well, it looks like I did end up keeping that ugly wisteria, but I don't know. Do you guys like that little sort of the vine on the right hand side? I might get rid of that. I'm not sure. Depends what you guys think. Anyway, yes, that rental is now ready for someone to move in and the Westcottes to earn a little bit more money. It would be really, really nice. I can't remember if I've said this, but what I would love to do is have Udal, build up their sort of landlordy empire. We'll have him be a nice landlord, because I don't think Udal would be a mean landlord. But yes, we will build up our landlord empire, and he will store away lots of money, especially for Ama. Although there's been some stuff going on with Ama. I'll tell you guys in the next episode. But yes, he will be squirreling away money, and what I want to do eventually is buy lots of land, earn lots of money, and then introduce my royalty mod into my gameplay and have them work up the ranks to get from peasantry to nobility to maybe even someday the royal Westcottes. What do you guys think of that? I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, that's not for a long time yet. I can't believe we're already on like episode 13, I think this is. yeah, I've been really enjoying this, and it was nice to take a break and do some building and do some different stuff and have a bit of a time skip. I'm really looking forward to the plague. I do have a Black Death mod that I will be using for this, and hopefully we don't lose anyone too important. Royalty Mod 3.4 is now up on my Patreon on early access, and that is all about investitures. If you are interested in that, I will leave a little card up in the right hand corner so you can go and look at the trailer and the overview video of it if you'd like, if I remember, that is. If you're planning on buying the new pack on the EA app or the sims.com, you can use my code llazyneiph and I will get 5% commission from that, and I really do appreciate that if you do use it. But yes, that is all, and I will see you guys next episode. Bye for now.